Welcome once again to the lecture number 25 of Deep Learning course. In this session, we are going to start a new thing, that what is a sequence data, how we can represent it into the machine learning framework. And there is a special tool that is called the RNN, and we are going to explore that particular architecture here, that what is the changes, how come it is going to have the uh, advantage of representing the sequences into the neural networks. So today's topic is going to revolve around the RNN, and few more lectures that are going to come. They would be related to this particular topic. So we are going to start this today. All right. So I would like to start this discussion by giving you a very small problem, and so that I can motivate you that why a different kind of data structure is needed, why a different kind of architecture is needed, why not the same kind of thing that we were using earlier. I can use the same kind of framework to do these things also. So I have a small problem. The problem is this: that you are going to make a system, maybe the computer system. Computer system means a machine learning ML based system, and your task is to ask from him that whether should I go to see a movie or not. Okay, so the problem is this, that you are going to make a ML based system, and your task of whether if some movie is released, then whether you should go to see that movie or not is going to be simplified for that person. For that thing only you are going to make this thing. All right. So how can you make this system? Definitely, it is going to consider various things, such as of course the system is going to consider many factors, such as who are the actors, because it may be possible that if Salman Bhai movies is going to come, you are going to see this despite of whatever be there. So you want to understand that who are the actors, what is the some rating of the movie, and your interest in that type of movies. Some external factor can also come. For example, do you have the money to purchase tickets, or whether the environment or the it is heavily raining or not. Some factors it is going to consider, and based on that fact, it is going to tell you that whether you should see the movie or not. Let's assume that it's a Salman Bhai movie, and you are asking from the system, should I go and see the movie? What will be the answer? Yes? Anna? Answer would be yes. Yeah. So this system is going to tell you, yes, go and see the movie. So you would follow this instruction. You would go and see the movie. Next day, if you again ask from this particular system, should I go to see the movie or not? What this system is going to say? No. It is again going to say yes. Anna? It is again going to say yes. You are going to see the movie. Next day again, if you are going to ask the same thing, it is going to say that yes. So this is the problem, that every time it is not going to see that what has happened earlier. And every time if you use this particular system, it is going to tell you yes, 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 and yes. That's a big problem. So you may have faced this also, that for example, when you were at your home, you ask your mom, Mom, I want the ice cream. Okay, the mom says no. If you ask from the mom, I want ice cream, she would say no. Ice cream is not good for your throat. Next day you say the mom, I want ice cream. She would again say no. Next day, no. Next day, no. Then what would happen in the after that? She would say yes. Go and just finish it. So if you keep asking, the systems, the human systems are like that. They are taking care of that what is happening over there. But these machine ML based systems, they are not going to they are not coping up with this kind of understanding that what they have done earlier. So by yourself, you can think that there could be a memory component that can do something to solve this kind of issue. Okay, so we have seen that every time the system is going to give the same answer, that is not good thing. Okay, and this is the only problem with the basic machine learning model, that they only consider the current input, not the previous one. There are a lot of data that is around, and it is into the form of sequences. For example, when I am speaking something to you, it has I am uttering some kind of words, and there is a sequence. If I change these sequences somehow, then you may not be able to make sense that what is going to happen, what is happening over here. Sequence data is very, very common, and frankly speaking, it is one of the most important data that we have. Okay. For example, there are a few examples that I am not good into driving, but I just wanted to give you a flavor that if the sequence data is with you, what are the kind of thing that you want to do with the sequence data? Okay. One could be the sequence prediction. Excuse me. ज़्यादा पानी मत पियो, ठंडा पानी नुकसान करेगा. अगर ये ठंडा है तो नुकसान करेगा. वार्म है तो ठीक है. हाँ, ठंडा और परेशान करेगा. ठीक है. हाँ, उधर साइड में बैठ सकते हो जहाँ पे धूप आता है, थोड़ा तो खोल सकते हो, है ना. उधर धूप भी आता है थोड़ा सा, तुम देख सकते हो. अगर इफ यू लाइक दैट यू कैन सिट देयर. ओके, सो व्हाट आई वाज टेलिंग दैट समटाइम सीक्वेंस डेटा के ऊपर आप क्या करेंगे. मान लीजिए आपके पास एक सीक्वेंस डेटा है, आप क्या करेंगे सीक्वेंस डेटा के ऊपर. तो वन थिंग कुड बी द सीक्वेंस प्रिडिक्शन, दैट उस सीक्वेंस के बारे में आप कुछ बताना चाहते हैं. सीक्वेंस से रिलेटेड यू वांट टू टेल समथिंग. फॉर एग्जांपल weather forecasting, where I am telling that today what was the weather condition, and based on that next day I wanted to tell what is going to happen. Okay, sequence data I have, I want to predict that what is going to happen. Also happen into the stock market prediction, where you know that what is the stock values that are going to happen. They're up down, and you want to tell that what is going to happen next day. Given the sequence data, you want to do some kind of prediction. Product recommendation, very important area. And let me tell you that sometime if we have time, we can tell that there are various very, very important techniques over there. You may have heard about the collaborative filtering, and using those kind of things, a very interesting thing actually happens. So maybe we can, if we have time, we can discuss those things. Very interesting idea into the machine learning. You can see that collaborative filtering means finding out the other similar thing. For example, when I want to do the recommendation is not an easy task. There are multiple things involved. That either I can see that what are the items you have already purchased, and I can suggest you something. So, for example, if you have purchased the fish, okay, and fish tank, so I know that after a few days you would come to me and ask for some kind of medicines and the fish food. So those things you are going to purchase from me. So I know that these things are going to come after some time. I can advertise you something. If I know that you have purchased a car after 1 year, I would come to you and tell you that can you purchase some kind of insurance, because I know that insurance is going to expire. If I have some knowledge, sometimes it may also be possible that I know that these things are with you. Can you purchase next thing? For example, if you are, if you have a sofa, and if you have a cot, then I can tell you that can you purchase, for example, pillow. If you have a sofa and thing, or I can tell you that can you purchase TV, because I know that now the setup is ready with you. These things are with you. If you purchase the TV, it would be good. If you have a house, I can tell you that can you purchase some kind of automatic cleaning thing. If you are living in the hostel, I cannot suggest you. So most of the time, these recommendations are personalized, and they are dependent upon what has been done earlier. So this is one thing that I'm going to talk about. There is another thing that is called the collaborative filtering, that comes up with this idea that I don't know anything about. Let's assume that I don't know much about you, but I know for some people who are related to you. For example, in your hostel, I know that in your hostel, 90% of people have seen this Sholay movie. Okay, so looks like that those kind of students are very much interested in seeing the Sholay movie. So if there is another hostel and the same kind of students are living over here, I can pick any student and show him the advertisement of Sholay. Okay, this is a collaborative filtering. I can find out that who are the similar kind of peoples, and whatever thing those peoples are doing, I can advertise over here. Well, whether this person has taken those things or not, this is called the collaborative filtering. So product recommendation is also a very important thing. It requires that what are the things that you have purchased earlier, are the group of the people who are similar to you have purchased earlier, and based on that I can do something so that I can increase the sales. Sequence prediction, and there could be the sequence classification. So when you have a sequence, right now we were thinking that what is going to be next. Next thing could be sequence classification. That, for example, if a sequence is given to me, can I tell something about the sequence? For example, if a DNA sequence is given to me, I'm not sure about this, but maybe people says that it has some kind of understanding that what kind of problems you may encounter at some particular time of your life. So can I do this and find out that this particular person is more susceptible to some kind of diseases, or he is more immune to this kind of problems? So I can use this information. Sequence classification, very important thing. DNA sequence classification or anomaly detection. For example, if somebody is coming here and performing some kind of activity one by one, I measure that what are the activities that he is doing. Maybe his sequence of activities are not that he is going to do the right thing. So I can detect the anomaly. What is the sequence of activity he is doing? For example, on the internet also, we can come up that on the internet behavior, what is the internet behavior? Sentiment analysis, the very important thing. Most of the time, many algorithms do this. For example, if you are tweeting something, Twitter, TWI, you are doing something on the Twitter. So if some tweet is there, we want to understand that whether this tweet is a positive sentiment or the negative sentiment. If there is a negative sentiment, we can remove this, we can block that, maybe depending upon the requirement. So sentiment analysis, all these things are done. Two things we have seen. What? Given the sequence, what is going to happen? Given the sequence, you want to tell something about that. The third category of thing is this sequence generation. Very important task. And this is actually a very useful task also. So here, we are going to generate some of the sequences. How can we generate the sequences? So you know that, for example, whatever I'm telling them, whatever I'm telling that is speech or anything that I'm going to write is a kind of sequence. So if you want to generate something speech, it is going to be a kind of sequence. One important thing that you can by yourself think, for example, an image is there and you want to get the description of this particular image. What is there? Can you describe this particular image? So one idea would be that you somehow understand that what is inside the image. So object detection we have seen, we somehow come up with what are the objects over there. So I can come up that looks like that an elephant, there is a man, there is a food, and few things are there. So can I write that elephant, a man is feeding food to the elephant? Okay. So when I create this thing, for example, from this thing I can get these tokens, but building a story around this token is again an important problem. So how can I do that? So this comes into the sequence generation pass, where I'm going to generate some kind of text. I have given an example. Sometimes music generation, music is also a sequence of the things. So given some node, then the related nodes are actually generated, and at the end there is some kind of music composition can come out. Image captioning, I have just mentioned that there is a image, various words are there. Using these words, how can I arrange them there so that they can make a sense? Third task. Anything else that we can do with the sequences? Sequence to sequence prediction, very important task. Most of the time we see that, for example, I'm writing something into the English and I wanted that thing converted to the French. Two different languages, from English to French. So this is a very interesting application, and even it is one of the hardest problems that people are facing, that how to do that. But some degree of success has been obtained when we actually got the deep learning kind of things ready. So one thing that I had mentioned, that language translations from one language to another. Similarly, text summarization could also be a thing where a lot of text is there, and from that text you are going to generate another text, and that may be something like that. For example, here is an example that I tried to write that. For example, just read this. In the recent elections, Mr. A got 2,000 votes. However, Mr. B was able to get only 352 votes. So this is the story. What this story means? Nothing more than this, that Mr. A won the election. Okay, only two people were there. So only this thing is this. So this is again here I can also generate something, some story. This story will be smaller. Okay. So how can we generate these kind of text summarization, language translations? All these things are actually important application of the sequence data. So every other these things are actually important and not that easy. Okay, we are going to see that why. Let me tell you this thing, that let's consider that what is a general machine learning pipeline, where here we have a data and data is mostly into the form of a table where every row is going to represent a something item. Okay. An example, mostly we have two parts where this particular part actually says that what are the attributes. For example, attribute 1, attribute 2, attribute 3, dot dot dot. Few attributes are there, and this particular part is going to tell, for example, let's assume the classification problem. It is yes or no. In this way, the data is given to us. The point is this, that if I want to find out that how many points are there, how many things are over here, which are actually given as an input to the model. So for example, when you train a model on this, on the model, you are going to feed only this particular part. And as an output, you are going to receive this. So let us just focus on this particular part. How many things are there? Let's assume that, just for the sake of simplicity, let's assume that 5 attributes are there. Okay, so what is the size of input? Since 5 values are there, 5 integers are there, so input size is 5. Okay, so in all the machine learning pipelines, only this is going to happen. Okay, so I can say that 5 points are there. Okay, how many points are there? How many data points? How many points are there with respect to a data item? There was a data item that is described using the 5 points. Okay, 5 points were there. Using those things, I'm going to describe that particular data item. But if it is a speech, okay, then I cannot tell that the person should only speak the 5 words or 10 words. It depends upon to express the same kind of idea. Sometimes maybe a person would be speaking 12 words, 50 words, anything is possible. So this is the biggest problem, that most of the time, this is the thing, that a fixed number of attributes are there into the general machine learning pipeline. But here, the first challenge that comes to us is this, that we are actually, the number of points, the number of variables, the number of input things that we have is going to vary. Okay. And also very, very important thing, let me tell you that this is actually very important thing. What happens if I ask you that, let's assume that, consider this particular table, and I'm going to ask this question, that there is attribute 1, let me call it attribute 1, attribute 2, attribute 3, attribute 4. My question is this, that whether A1 is related to A2? Yes? Yes or no? Sir, will you be sharing the details regarding to the InSem project today? Prabhu, I think please check your email. I think I have sent an email last night. Everybody got the mail? Okay, so it is up. Okay, the information is there. Please check the website. Yeah, I was telling very important thing. Sorry, I got disturbed. So what I wanted to tell, that this attribute and this attribute, you are telling that they are related. Okay, let me once again clarify. So they are related with respect to the item. For example, if I have a mango and my problem is this, that I wanted to tell, okay, aisa to mango hota hi nahi hai. I have a mango and let's assume that my problem is whether this is ripe or not. What thing you are going to measure? Maybe the weight, maybe the radius, maybe the color, maybe the softness. Okay, whether they are related in some way. For one mango, they are related. Okay, but whether the weight is related to the color, okay, they are related. No, because if they are related, we apply some kind of methods such as PCA. We are bound to apply some kind of PCA. Then it means that you are using the things that have actually dependence. We apply some kind of methods to reduce this thing. We want all the things to be independent. In the general machine learning pipeline, whenever I have a data, I want all these things to be independent. They are not dependent. Am I clear? These attributes are not dependent. They should be independent to each other. There should not be any even linear combination of them should not produce another value. But if it is a text data, I am telling something. What is going to come here? Mostly you can tell based on seeing this thing. You can tell that what is going to happen over there. They are related in a very. These points could depend upon each other in a very complicated way. This is again an important kind of change that we are going to see in this particular data. We want to do something like this. For example, here we want to predict something. For example, this is a line. Agra is a great place. If you go there, you must visit ... Can anybody tell what should come at this particular place? Taj. You should see the Taj. So this Taj is dependent upon what? This Agra. If I change this Agra to France, so you can tell this Taj is not useful. Then you can say that maybe Eiffel. I think Eiffel Tower. Okay. So you are going to say the Eiffel Tower. This thing that is going to come at this particular place is dependent upon this particular area. And in between, there are so many things that are there. Okay. So it is a big problem. Okay. It is a big problem for me. Okay. That how can I maintain this long-term dependency? This thing is called the long-term dependencies. So try to understand that what is going to come here is dependent upon this. But whether these things are important or not, they're not important? No. They are important because they establish that what kind of relationship it is. Okay. Maybe they can, for example, if I write here, it is a great place. If you go there, you must eat. Then would you write Taj? What would you write? Can you tell me? Petha. Okay. There is also a very important thing, bedhai, puri, jo वहाँ मिलती है और कहीं नहीं मिलती. You can also eat. Breakfast is very good there. So if I change this thing, it is going to make things different. Long-term dependencies are very important. Okay. And how many words are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it becomes very difficult to come up with this kind of thing, because generally what we think in the things would be related to the nearby things, but no, this time they are not nearby things. This is the biggest problem. Sometimes given a voice, we want to recognize the speaker. Given the video, we want to determine the activity. Given the series, say series of stock values, predict the next one. What is the value going to? All these things we have discussed that we want to do. So these are the challenges that we have. Okay. All right. So we have understood enough. Now, how to solve this problem? If I want to do all 4 different categories of problem, all these things, and all these things are there, how can you solve this particular problem? Definitely, you want to solve using the general ML pipeline that you already have. So with this kind of ML pipeline, and we know that it takes only fixed amount of things. So if your sequence is very large, why don't you crop this particular part? Some part you can crop. So when the first idea that comes to the mind, that consider only the fixed length. Okay. But if you do like this, and in this particular example, you can say that, for example, if I take 10 things, so I think only this person would be available, Agra would be cut. So this would unable to model the long-term dependencies. Again, my problem is the same, that I wanted to do the machine learning. So I wanted to use the same kind of machine learning models. What next we can do? Next thing could be that somehow, I don't know how, that somehow you convert this variable thing, sometime this length, sometime this length, to a fixed length something, How can I do that? One idea could be that you know that the person has a dictionary. For example, let's come to the voice recognition based things where we want to understand about something about the text. So you know that in any community, not all words are used. So general dictionary is very large, but we can come up with a smaller dictionary that say that maybe 5,000 words, and people say that generally people use only 5,000 kind of words only. So if you use only 5,000 important words and you make a vector out of that, 5,000 vector. The first place is related to the second place is related with the apple. Third place is about the mouse. Next is about the PC, computer. So on. These 5,000 words, for every word there is a location. And if this is going to happen, if somebody is telling something, for example, if some David is good in math, but he is bad in science, somebody is telling like that. So maybe David is not important that. So I can say that because David is only going to set the context, I can say is good at math but is bad in science. So all the related places I put 1, and remaining places becomes 0, 0, 1. So I get a sequence of 0, 1, and what is the length of this particular vector? Length of the d dash, that is fx. Therefore, I have solved my problem. In this way, I can solve my problem. Good idea? Okay. In this way, I can get. If you give this particular length of the input, then also I can create this particular vector. This particular length, then also I can create the same length of the vector. So I have solved this problem. This particular model has a name called bag of word model. In this model, what we do? Any questions? In this, what we do? We actually find out what are the words over here, and we have a dictionary. We have a vector that is going to be related to a dictionary. And whenever there is any word, I'm going to put at that particular location, set the value 1, and all other places 0. By this, I get the fixed size vector. Getting fixed size vector, everything is done. Then you feed the system, and you can train that particular thing. Good idea? How many of you are telling that it is a good idea? Anybody with me who is going to tell me that it is a good idea? Anybody? Nobody is saying it's a good idea. It is a bad idea. Actually, it is a bad idea. Actually, it is not that bad idea. Okay, please let me tell you that it is a good idea, because now you have solved your problem, and many of the problems, computer science problems, have solved using this particular model. Bag of word model was very successful. But only at some corner cases there is a problem. Okay. What are the corner cases? Let me tell you those. Corner cases is this. Here is an example. I'm going to tell that David is good at math, but he is bad in science. So he is good in math. But if I exchange these words over here and take all these things the same, David becomes bad in math and good in science. These two are the corner cases. Okay. I'm just talking about the corner case. So here, the meaning of the sentence completely has changed. But if you want to see that what is the representation of these two sentences, they are going to be the same. There is a problem. Okay, mostly we can solve this. Very good model, and mostly the many problems are solved. But mostly these kind of cases we actually face problems. How to go ahead with that? Okay, we will come to you once again. We have discussed that we want to do what we want to do. We want to deal with the variable size input. If you want to do something, the problem that we have to deal with the variable size input, we have to maintain the sequence order. As we have seen that if sequence order is somehow lost, we are actually going to lose the meaning. You have to keep track of the long-term dependencies, so that if something has come very, very far apart, something may have been the meaning at that particular place. Save the parameter across the sequences. What does it mean? Actually happens because when multiple sentences are there is some context is going to happen. Okay, so something where whatever I'm going to say over here may not explain everything, but that depends upon the something that I have seen earlier. So across the sentences there should be something. Okay, and this is the context that is going to flow into my discussion. So all these things we have to maintain. Now I'm going to give you an idea. Okay, neural network based idea. This is called RNN, and this is what the subject matter of today's class. Very important topic that I'm going to tell you here. Now you understand all these problems, how we can deal with that. I am going to give you a solution. Solution is very simple. Okay, and let us start by just showing you the neural network. That is a feed-forward neural network where what is feed-forward? That we are feeding something and it is forwarded layer by layer, and at the end you are going to get the output. Okay, this is simple model. Very simple neural network also I have shown. So here let me give you an assumption, and let me tell you let me ask you that whether you agree with me or not. The assumption is this, that at the time t you are going to provide me input, and output you expect at the time t+1. Is it fine? Is it fine? So at the time t, you are going to provide me some input. 1 unit of time it takes to process. Immediately you cannot get the input. This is only the thing, that immediately you cannot get the output. Whatever input you are going to give, immediately you cannot get. After 1 unit of time you are going to get the output. Is it clear? You are agreeing with me? Fine. It is a useful means there is no problem in this particular notation. So feed forward network is this. Okay, let me tell you once again and waste your time. So something I'm going to feed to the system, and these are the input neurons. I'm going to provide the value. So this is the first hidden layer, and let me call it the output layer. So ultimately, these two things are the network parts. Okay, this is outside. This is the outside part where I'm going to provide something as an input. So the hidden layer, what it does? These neurons are actually connected to all the input things. They're also connected to all the inputs thing. They're also connected to all the inputs thing, and then they are going to compute something, and then based on that, again the fully connected circuit that is going to be connected. And I'm not showing the weights over here. Okay, every weight there is a weight, and then I'm going to get the output. Make sense? Clear? Let me tell you one more thing to further add one thing. So right now we are mentioning that I have a kind of text, that representation. So text has words. Okay, words are, if it is words. Okay, for every word I need to have a representation. That I wanted to tell you. For every word I need to have the representation. Few minutes back we have talked about the bag of word models. In that model also, for every word there was a index. Okay, what was the index? At that particular index I went and make it one. Okay, here I'm telling that since I'm not using this kind of notation, bag of word notation. So so every word should have a representation, because you know that sometimes the few words are larger, few words are smaller. So how can I make them into the same size? So because you know that it doesn't make sense to call it kursi or chair. Kursi and chair are these two different words. They have the different number of things, but they are going to represent same item. So the words as such are not important, because they're just labels. So someone can come up with a different name also. Okay, so in the entire word, I can associate some kind of label to that, and a fixed size vector to that. Try to understand this particular part. So all these things have. Let's assume that 001. I'm going to call this thing, and let me just give you an example. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? For hello, let me call it 001. How 100, R 110, U 010. You understand? So let's assume that this kind of representation is there. Okay. So at the time one, now be with me. At the time one, if I want to feed hello, I would be feeding 001. Then I would be getting some output. Next time I would be feeding 100. I would be getting some output. I'm feeding this, getting some output, getting some output, getting some output. Make sense? Once again. Sort of. So Abhi, because this is a very interesting question. What is the output? Uh, maybe sentiment. He's happy or not happy. I'm not sure about it. That may dependent upon. Maybe the answer of this, how are you? The system is telling I'm fine. Maybe after hello, how are you? His system is going to say I am fine. He's telling me I, then am, then fine. How can he tell I am fine? Representation of I is going to come out from here. Then representation of am is going to come out. So here one more thing, because you have asked this question and we have this understanding that into the general machine learning pipeline, what happens after immediately after feeding hello, what is the output? I'm not much interested, because what happens now when I feed this thing, I cannot get the output. I will be getting the output at this particular time. I'm able to tell. I would be getting the output at this particular time, and at that time I would be feeding this thing to the input, and then output of this thing would come here. Then at that time I would be feeding this thing. I would be getting the output over here. When I am feeding this thing, I would be getting output. At that time I'm not feeding anything. Maybe after some time also I can keep getting the output. How come? Because I keep feeding 000 until I get end of file from the system. Okay, because I'm generating the sequences, so the system would keep giving me. See, initially maybe possible that these values are actually null, so I can collect that only. Okay, this is the only answer. This is the only thing that has been said to me. Okay, so what I can tell that I can tell that this is the output that the system has given to me. Initially, few values could be null values. After there would be end of file, and after some time the output would come. So essentially, what I mean that this is the thing that I'm going to give as an input, and this is the output that I'm going to receive with respect to the time. Okay. So that at different time I'm going to start getting the output, or maybe the length may change, bigger, smaller, anything could happen. Okay, so I think if I discuss more, so whatever thing I have feed it to your mind would be, you may be confused. Okay, so let me just close this thing. Okay, and I start my discussion once again by saying that let's come back to our discussion where I was telling that I'm going to feed something at the time t, and in the next minute, in the next unit of the time, I'm going to get the output. This is what it is. This is a general feed forward network, but how can it have access the sequences? So I'm going to change something. Please focus. At the time t, I am going to add one more state, and I'm going to tell that this is a self state. It has a name called self state. Okay, so if I'm going to add something, it is going to have the fully connection because it need to be fully connected. Okay, so it is going to compute something at the time zero. At the time zero, when I'm going to feed something, I have a unit that is going to compute something. At the time one, when I'm going to feed the input, once again, 1, 2, 3, this was the sequence that I was telling. At the time when I was feeding this thing, at that time it has computed some value. At the second time when I was feeding this thing, I am going to add a circuit that I'm going to add one more input over here. This is a hidden input that is also available to me, and I'm going to say that I have one more. Instead of this, I have one more input. Right? Input was only 3 input, but I'm going to say that now extra input has been fed. Extra input has been fed. What is the important of this thing? So I would use this thing for these neurons that use these thing to compute something. Weights are always there. Okay, and for this also I'm going to tell that if you want to compute what is the value that you have, you use this value also. That what should be your state. Okay, there is a one more input neuron that is not shown to, that is hidden, and output of the time t, which was actually being fed. Once again, I do that the time t was fed. Using that thing I have computed this. You may ask, sir, at that time this is not available. Initially, you may set 0, who is telling you. Initial thing, it is initial thing, you put the initial value as 0 value. Initially, it was also there. Okay, so take the value 0. So you are really providing this value, but I am taking one more value, that is 0. And using this thing, I am going to compute something over here. In the next time, I am going to feed this thing inside. Okay, and you are feeding new things, and I'm going to feed this thing. Using this thing, they are going to compute something and finding out the output. Please note that there is no connection here. This thing is not going to utilize this thing to find out that what is the output. This is an important part. Okay, so this is the extra part. It is called the self state. I have added one self state over here. All right, this is what the change I have. So whether change is clear to you, everybody?
Why aren't we giving it to the final like
Say again.
self state to the output?
Say again.
So like you were saying that connection is not there from the self state to the output layer. So why is it not used?
Otherwise, it is going to use the same thing at the same time, na? I want to maintain a state that I would use later. Otherwise, at the same time, I'm going to use. So क्या होगा? गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. All right. So this is the feed forward network that we had, and this is the recurrent neural network. Here in this circuit, I have added this particular part. Yes, please ask.
Self state is anything that will take inputs and create its own input for the hidden layers. So basically, self state is any state that is not connected to any other network that's going ahead, right? So it won't produce an output which will go ahead, but
right now it would not. Right now it would not participate. But next time it would participate because this is going to be fed as an input.
Yes, but so, that input is a step back, not ahead.
Correct. Immediately it is not going to be used. But later, because my idea is that at next point of time, I'm going to use that.
So let's say if there's an input at xt plus 1, there will be an input which will be based on the data coming at xt.
Yes.
Based on
We would come back to
parameters,
it.
something
Yeah,
coming.
we would come back to it. You understand this correctly. Yeah. So this is the architecture that I have. Okay. I will explain this once again into more details that you are talking about. So this part you understood. Everybody understood this part. If you understood this part, I'm very happy. So I can go ahead with this kind of more thing that are written. So it is called the self state. And at the time t+1, as I told you, it is going to be. It is this particular network is very much suitable for the temporal data, and training is difficult. If we create these kind of things, so some kind of unfolding and averaging, these kind of things are needed. So we are going to see how. So let me see what do I mean by unfolding in time. Yeah, again, do you have a question? No. Unfolding in time. Let us try to understand. Okay, now here I am going to give you an example once again. So let's assume that I have a sequence. Okay, so let's assume that I have a sequence. In this sequence, as I mentioned, that few words are going to come. I think I have to choose this. So few words are going to come one by one, one by one, one by one, one by one. These words are going to come. Focus on this particular word. That is the last word that I have just feeded the input. At the time t, I have feeded this. At the time t+1, what I would get the output from this particular network. Focus. At the time t, I have feeded this thing to the system, and the system is going to give me the output at the time t+1. At that time, whatever I have feeded, to come up with this output, these neurons need this value also. This value is not available right now because it has been computed earlier. So from there, somehow I have to come up. This value that has been computed earlier, that need to be fed over here. So how can I come up? So I can think that there is another network circuit unit where time t-1 thing was actually being fed, and using those things, something was computed, that thing is fed over here. Okay, I can think like that. Okay, I can think that ये तो प्रॉब्लम वो चला जाता है. तो at the time t, this was feeded, but t-1 time whatever being feeded, using those things, something was computed over here. This thing has been fed over here, and therefore this output is being generated. So to generate this output, are you able to see that to generate this output, only this is not needed, this is also needed, because this are going to give me this value, and based on this value I'm going to compute this thing. So here the output is going to use what? This thing also. But again to compute this thing, you need this value. To compute this thing, because there is a connection in between, to compute this thing you need this value. This value again need to be provided by something else. That at the time t-3, at the time t, this was there, at this was there, at the time t-2, whatever being fed, that is need to be used, and then only it can provide over here, and then only it can provide to the here, then only you can compute toward this. You can keep on this unfolding this thing and so on until you enter the first one. And here I have told you that initial value, maybe you can take 0 or 1 or whatever that suits you. So from here itself, all the things are going to be considered to give you the output. Okay. So what is the output at the time t+1? It is a function of whatever at the time t-1 to the t0. All these things are going to be given to as an input. It is going to be the function of that particular thing. By using this simple technique, IRNN incorporates history of the network and therefore can take the advantage of all these things. Make sense? Done? Any questions? Right now, we have just understood that it is something. From now onwards, I would represent this as a box. From now onwards, I would represent this as a box. Everything there is inside the box. And something is going out, something is going to in. So this is the internal structure that I told you. From now onwards, I would use a single box. Please note, the same box to be used, if the output is like this, and this has multiple things, so you are going to feed this thing. On the same box, you would feed this. On the same box, you would feed this. If I put multiple boxes, what does it mean? that what is the input at the different point of time. Okay, box is going to be the same. You should understand that if I am going to draw somewhere 3 boxes, doesn't mean that there are 3 boxes. There is only 1 box, and the input is given to at the 3 different point of time. Sure, are you ready? So see this. Okay, here 1 box is there, 1 input, 1 output. Okay, here 3 boxes are there. Are there 3 boxes? No, there are 1 boxes. 1 input is given at some point of time, and the same thing is going to be. Okay, 1 input is given here, then it is going to produce many output. I'm not going to feed something. So let's assume that I'm feeding null. It is going to feed me something. I'm going to explain. Okay, just understand this. Same thing is there. I'm feeding something. Then after next time I'm feeding something. Next time I'm feeding something. I'm getting some output. Here I'm feeding something for some time, and it is going to give me output after some time. And here I'm not going to feed something, even then it is going to give me some output. All these things are possible. Let me give you an example. It would be crystal clear to you. Okay. So here into the first example, I am going to feed something, and it is going to give me something output. It is called the one-to-one thing. And for example, if I want to generate a story, okay, I'm asking from the computer, can you give me a story? So it would tell that, okay, give me the first word. I can give you the story, but give me the first word. Otherwise, it may, let's assume that by some random phenomena, it had find out the first word, the. Okay. So I have feed the start to the system. It is going to give me what? The. I am going to feed the to the system. Again, the to the system. It is going to give me 1 word. The elephant. I am going to feed elephant. Was. I am going to feed was. Standing. I am going to feed standing. In. I am going to feed in water. This is the line. I am feeding the water in the file. Elephant was standing in water. Okay, one thing I am feeding, immediately I am seeing the output. The same output I am going to feed once again, and I am going to get something. So text generation kind of task. I'm going to generate the next thing I can do using these kind of architectures, where in this kind of setting I can do that. Yes.
Self-state and hidden state are the same thing.
No, hidden states are, all these things are hidden state. No? Hidden states are many. Okay, all these things are hidden states. That is also hidden. That is a part of this.
In that one-to-one model, there I can't see the self-states.
Few minutes back, I mentioned this thing, that I would not mention everything. You by yourself understand all these things are there. Okay, ये मैंने पहले बताया था थोड़ी देर पहले. ठीक है, अच्छा आपने पूछा. Please ask. Okay. So उस वक्त तो आपको नहीं समझ में आएगा ना, इतना चीज आने वाला है मेरे दिमाग में है, तो I think कि this is going to come. I can talk like that, but please ask the question. You ask the correct question. Once again, फिर से बताता हूँ. After that, every time I would draw this kind of box. It contains everything. ठीक है. Next thing, that I have fed an image to the system. One time I have fed something. Image is going to give me the words that a boy is playing with bat. Okay, girl jumping on cot. Okay, boy playing guitar. So boy playing guitar. So one image has been fed one time, but the system is going to generate multiple things until end of file. It is also going to generate, and here 0 is going to be fed to get multiple outputs. Okay, until we get end of file, we keep feeding. So this is called one to many. One input has been supplied and many output has been achieved. This is possible. So those kind of problems, we train the system in this way. Again, the training part, we would come into the more details. Okay, kaise hoga? But right now, just try to understand that what are the applications. Okay, many to one. Many to one means the many things I'm going to feed. At the end, I'm going to get one. For example, there is a Twitter, somebody had tweeted something. I want to tell that whether the sentiment is positive or negative. Or there is a long speech. I want to feed into the system and try to understand that who has given this speech. Because Mahatma Gandhi or Narendra Modi or somebody else. So I feed these words one by one. I'm going to feed all these words different time, and when I feed the last word, end of word, then the system would tell that who that person is. A long sequence is going to be fed. At the end, I'm going to get something. So this could be a classification also, classification kind of thing, any classification kind of task that you're going to feed something, getting the classification. And there is this that you can assume, by safely assume that, for example, these are the English words and these are the French conversions or Hindi conversions or any other language conversions. So initially the system takes some time to understand that how should I produce the thing, and after that it start producing the thing. And even if you start, it takes some time to finish because number of words may be larger or lesser. So depending upon that, when it says that in a end of file, then I would stop at that particular moment. Very important thing, very important line is this, that actually we are optimizing over the programs, not on the functions. What do I mean by this? So what is a function? Into the function, if you feed something, you get the output, and that output is fixed output. Okay. So sometimes if you make a very good function, so every time it is going to give you the right answer kind of thing. But the function becomes fixed. It cannot change. Function becomes fixed. It cannot change its behavior. Its behavior is going to be fixed. But in this scenario, when I'm going to use the RNN kind of thing, my behavior should change. My system behavior should change based on the whatever the input is there. Given the same input, I cannot get the same output. Try to understand. One input I'm going to feed, I have to see that what has been done earlier also. So if I feed hello this time, I have to see that what answer he have already given. Based on that, he would give the answer. So it is not a function that gives you the same output every time. The output would change. It is going to be a program. I'm going to feed a program into the system, and that program would actually go to change based on the requirement. All right. So I think we are short of the time, so I will not go to this particular slide. I would just take 1 minute to just give you the feeling of this thing, and we would cover this into the more detail into the next class. And this is going to be the last slide of this thing. And I think technically you should be able to understand this thing. Few minutes back, I told you that I am going to use this thing as a representation of the RNN. In this RNN, if you want to find out something output, for example, at the time of n, if you want to find out what is the output, at the time yn, this output, if you want to find out, you have to tell me that what is the state that was earlier. So there was, you understand that inside state it is, but you are representing this, that state is going to come, Sn minus 1, state is going to come, and using this state, it is going to find out what is the next state. Based on the next state, it is going to give me the output. Okay, so we would be into this particular way, that what was the input, what is the input, and what is the previous state. Based on that, I'm going to find out what is the state this time. Based on this state, I'm going to find out what is the output. So into the object-oriented programming, you know that if you have a class RNN is going to define that what is the thing. So it is a class. Now you get the object of the RNN type. Given something, if you feed something X, you are going to ask that what is going to step, RNN.step. It is given X, it is going to give you what is the output. Make sense? It happens. It is very near to you. What is inside this particular box? Let me just open this particular class. It uses the self information and the X that has been input, as I told you. X, this is the inside available. Okay, I'm showing it here, but it is inside available. So what is the self value? And there is a multiplying factor W. There is a weight that how I'm going to utilize this. As I told you that previous state has been multiplied with the weight. So self state is multiplied with the W, and this is just a right to multiply something. NP dot the dot means I want to find out the dot product, and then this value is multiplied by again because there are weights. So what is the input, that is multiplied by another weights. These two things are going to be multiplied and they are added. Then I apply a tanh activation, some activation function, any activation function that you choose, and then you say that what is the new state. When you find out that what is my new state, that is dependent upon these two values. If you want to find out the output, you multiply with the v, that is another vector. So you say that self state multiplied by the v, and you take the dot product, and whatever y you get, you are going to give it as an output. So this is how we make the RNN. Is the simplified model, and here this is what my technical diagram. And using these things, we would follow the next things that are going to come to us. Thank you very much for your attention.